Welcome to Carla. We're the Rexon family, and 2 years ago we made a life-changing decision. We missed being together as a family in day-to-day life with school, work and everything else. We moved in with my parents so that we could save up money to buy a sailboat. This way, we will be able to explore the different aspects of the world together as a family.
Our budget was small, so we had to get creative. We looked everywhere and finally we found Carla. She's a 42-foot, one-off, ketch-rigged pilot house sailboat. Her hull is made from 5mm steel and she weighs around 17 tons or 37,500 pounds. She had been sitting on a farm for 10 years or more. Her original owner built her with the dream of world cruising, so she was perfect for us. Now it's up to us to get her shipshape again. Our first item on the to-do list was getting her home.
First, we needed to prepare her new home for the next couple of years. This included felling trees, leveling ground and building supports for her. We had to hire in some expert help who did an amazing job moving her safely. The whole deal took around 7 hours, and all in all, it was a very exciting day for us. After sitting for 10 years, she really needed a good scrub down.
Next up, we had to build a good cover for her so we could have a dry workspace. Again, the budget was small, so we decided to use wooden battens and plastic tarps to create a tent that covers the whole top side of the boat. This took around 1 week to complete, and to date it has survived several storms and even a minor hurricane. So all in all, job well done.
Now it was time to start the real work. During preparations for the move, we noticed that there was extensive rust beneath the steering column, so this was a natural place to start. We removed the steering column and everything else to get proper access to the deck. We also had to remove the ceiling in the aft cabin. Now it was time to cut away the rusted steel and replace it with new. This turned out to be a huge undertaking, where we had to get creative in using all of our winches, imagination and teamwork. After removing the old steel and bringing up the new, it was finally time to bring out the welder and start putting her back together again.
With the aft deck almost finished, we wanted to check for rust in the front as well. So we started by removing the ceiling. We saw the rust was quite extensive, so we had to get a good look at the structure of the mast, and this combined with the need to remove the concrete ballast in the bilges meant that we ended up totally taking apart the middle cabin and the head. The ballast in Carla is a combination of concrete and steel pellets, We weighed all that we took out so we can put in the same amount of ballast when time comes. We ended up removing 1 ton, or just around 2,200 pounds. In the days following, the hunt for rust and ballast concrete continued, and we still hope to preserve some parts of the interior. But as we got further into the teardown, it became more and more apparent that we needed to take apart the entire front of the boat. Water had been collecting in the insulation and had caused rot in the framing and the steel surface to rust almost everywhere. Now we are at a crossroad with a huge decision to make. Should we preserve the remaining interior, knowing that there might still be surprises underneath? Or should we tear it all out and get a clean slate and be completely sure that there are no more nasty surprises? Now, option number 2 might seem like massive overkill to some, but our philosophy, not least around boats where your life and the life of your loved ones depends on the state of your equipment, is that if you neglect something, it'll come back and bite you in a certain body part when you least expect it. So, daunting as it might be, the decision was already made. When we bought the boat, we were told that there might be a leak from one of the tanks, and after emptying and inspecting them, we decided to remove them altogether. This gave me the opportunity to exercise my rigging skills in getting them out the door of the wheelhouse.
So there we were. This was a very emotional time for us because we really loved the interior of the boat and we really appreciated all the hard work that had gone into making it. Even though we felt sad for losing the old interior, we also felt a sense of relief because, as you can see, we found a massive hole in the portside diesel tank, we found a hole in the side of the wheelhouse, and we found out that the windows in the aft cabin were only held in place by the glue because the screws had all corroded away. But as the old saying goes, when one door closes, another one opens, and we now get to rethink the layout of Carla. Our dream is being able to sleep 8 people comfortably in 4 separate cabins. That way we will be able to take aboard people from all over the world to help broaden the horizons of us and our kids. One of the things we found out while gutting the boat was that the steel around almost all of the hatches needed to be replaced, and one of them needed to be closed up altogether due to the changes made to the layout. So this was a very good place to carry on. Here Klaus is working on replacing the hatch to the forward stowing area. We found a new watertight industrial style hatch that we are going to put in. With the amount of cutting that there was to be done, it was too big of a task for the angle grinder with a cutting disc. It also wouldn't be able to do the round corners that we need to keep the strength in the boat when replacing the sheet metal. So we chose to try out a $350 plasma cutter, and boy, we were not disappointed. By the click of a button, you almost have the flexibility and cutting ability of a cutting torch, without the need for oxygen or a gas bottle. Now we can round the corners with ease.
Unfortunately, we had to redo some of our welds. All in all, we had to recut and redo the welds on 4 of the hatches. Now, we're not experts in any of the areas that we're working on. We're going to make mistakes along the way, and this was definitely one of them. At first, we started by using gasless welding wire. This spattered a lot and gave us a lot of cleanup work after. Then we changed to flux cord wire, and this seemed to work really well until one of our welds suddenly cracked. Now the weld cracking must have been a combination of my welding technique and the flux cord wire. We're not entirely sure, but to make sure that we didn't have any more cracks in the welds done with the flux core, we decided to redo them all. Better to be safe than sorry. And we started using standard thread with CO2 argon mixed gas. Ever since then, the welds has turned out great.
Until now, our workshop has been this plastic-covered carport, but as work on the boat progresses, the need for a proper dry workspace is getting bigger. We considered many different options, like extending the carport, building another tent, or even renting a container. But one day it hit us that in the back we actually have a suitable building wasting away. So we convinced my parents to let us convert it into a workshop. The building needed a lot of work. The roof was about to collapse and needed to be reinforced. We needed to take down one of the walls to get a proper workspace. Luckily, the wall in the middle wasn't load-bearing, so we took it down. It's nice to have a project where we can include the kids without it being as dangerous as working on the boat. We love spending our free time working with the kids outside, doing different projects or taking the tractor for rides around the forest. The workshop still needs a lot of work. We have to insulate the roof to stop condensation forming inside. We need to close up the big door to avoid the draft, and we need to equip it with machinery, a workbench, and so on. So keep a lookout in future videos for more workshop progress.
As for the rest of the metalwork, this will probably go on for a while, but that's okay. We don't want to spend the money faster than we're earning them, because our plan is to come out of this project debt-free. Only by being free of any debt will it be possible for us to live the life that we want in the future. We're already living the life of our dreams. Just having a project like this has been a lifelong dream for both Heidi and I. We're constantly learning new skills and doing it together as a family. Well, who wouldn't want that? The sheer amount of good wishes and excellent advice we are receiving in the comments is absolutely amazing. It almost makes us feel like we're getting new friends and traveling the world already. So thank you very much for that, and keep them coming.
If any of this has sparked your interest, please hurry up and hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot in making these videos. So for now, thanks for watching and see you next time.